Towards the end of the Second World War, it became apparent to the United States and its Western allies that the new emerging superpower, the Soviet Union, was going to take control of the Eastern European countries liberated from German occupation. The Soviet leader, Joseph Stalin, saw the chance to expand its communist ideology to its occupied territories and set up puppet states which Moscow would control. The Soviet Union also exported its ideology and military supplies to China, where it was emerging as a new threat in Eastern Asia. The spark for the Cold War would actually take place in Greece and Turkey, which were fighting a civil war and nationwide unrest respectively. Great Britain, which had supported and fought for Greece, was gripped with a severe economic depression following the war and had to stop providing aid to Greece. Fearing an imminent communist takeover of Greece from factions within the country, as well as the aid in manpower and supplies from Yugoslavia, Bulgaria and the Soviet Union, the United States stepped in with the announcement of the Truman Doctrine, which would pledge military and economic aid to Greece, Turkey and any other country needing its assistance. But this doctrine went beyond the military and economic aid, and it was a de facto declaration of war against the growing communist ideology and would serve as notice that the United States was willing and able to fight the spread of communism, short of an all-out war with the Soviet Union. Thus, the battlegrounds for the Cold War became proxy wars in Africa, Southeast Asia and the Middle East, while espionage, sabotage and political assassinations became new tools with which to force the allegiance of countries to either the West or East. In the overall backdrop, both the United States and the Soviet Union began a nuclear arms race, vying for total supremacy in the event of a nuclear war. More bombs and missiles meant a balance of power in order to continue the Cold War. At times, both sides came carelessly close to going over the edge and starting an unthinkable Armageddon. The Cold War would officially end between the United States and the Soviet Union, which dissolved into separate states in 1991. But with that dissolution came the very scary prospect of the Soviets' huge stockpile of nuclear weapons becoming unaccounted for or even sold to other countries. Ukraine, which had many of the Soviet Union's nuclear missile silos and weapons, were forced to negotiate their release back to Russia. In this way, by forcing Ukraine to give up its nuclear stockpile, the United States could more easily track the weapons and effectively removed another country, Ukraine, from having these weapons of mass destruction. While the Cold War ended with the Soviet Union's demise in 1991, tensions between Russia and the United States have continued, with the current war in Ukraine bringing tensions to an all-time high.